This is Barnstable Today for Friday, February 6th. Welcome aboard. I'm Kevin Friel. And keep in mind the meetings we cover are available for your viewing on demand at the town's website. That's town.barnstable.ma.us.
At last evening's Town Council session, 2 county commissioners gave the town an update. That's our focus. Thanks for joining us. I'm Len Gobiel.
Members Sheila Lyon and Mary Pat Flynn spoke before the Town Council in regard to the county's continued support of local towns, the county's budgetary issues, and working with towns towards regionalization of services.
So I just wanted to thank you for having us. We plan on going to all boards of selectmen and a board like this throughout the Cape, and you are our first, so you're our trial run, and you can help us tweak our show as we go forward. But anyway, I do think that Pat sort of touched on the topic of the day, which is regionalization. And it's not that word that scares people as much as it used to. I think people are somewhat welcoming it and trying to understand what that concept is and how it can apply to them. As you know, we're having diminished resources, and our needs are becoming greater. And not only are our needs becoming greater in our own meeting the needs of the towns, each town has to meet their obligations, but we have forces coming upon us that we have to deal with, such as the wastewater issues, and we have infrastructure issues as far as technology, energy, and economic development. And what is the new paradigm of economic development here on the Cape? I don't believe that it's the same as it's always been, where we're going to try to solicit businesses to come down and to, large businesses that can employ a lot of people. I do think that the Cape is proving itself to be more conducive to the smaller entrepreneurial types, and those businesses need technical and infrastructure of transportation, wastewater, and energy components. To meet these requirements, the state is there as well. Today, some members of the Housing and Economic Development from the state were here in Barnstable County going over your GIZ. I have met with some of those people in Boston, and I sat in on that meeting today. And the components of what they're looking for all towns and anyone who is going to comply with them is that you are collaborating with your neighbors. I mean, you can go lay out all your plans, and they'll say, oh, this is great, and wow, you guys are really on the ball, and wow, you're doing such a great job, and this is really great. How are you getting along with your neighbors? The fact that you're planning ahead and thinking about where it is you want to be and what you want to look like as a town or as a region is first and foremost, as opposed to, okay, here's this business, let's build what it is they need, and then it's a mishmash. We've done this, it doesn't work, and we only have so much land left, so we have to be very careful. And how are we collaborating, and what is our planning process, and what is our mapping, and all of the things that I think Barnstable is already ahead of the game on. Other towns have to come up to this learning curve. So I think that, as we go forward, the county wants to position itself and to be available to towns to help you in this process of regionalization. And that doesn't mean some people will interpret that this is going to be a county dominance, that the county will now take over all of the different entities that towns usually do. I don't think that that's the case. Towns are grappling with these areas together. As Pat alluded to, the Outer Cape towns are grappling with what they can share. And instead of just talking about their public works departments and that sort of thing, they've really gone to where we felt no man would go, which is their police and fire. And how are they going to consolidate some of those entities or share their resources? So while you are all figuring out how you're going to work together and what it is you're willing to share and how you can share these things, I think that the county wants to position itself where we can look at the larger issue and take care of the infrastructure issues.
Meanwhile, Councilor Jim Munifo had numerous questions for Animal Control Officer Charlie Lewis in regards to coyotes concerns.
Recently, the Cape Cod coyote issue has been renewed in the town of Barnstable.
Charlie Lewis offered his advice on what to do in situations in which coyotes are coming too close to residents.
Some of your questions are difficult to answer. There are a number of coyotes. They do create some problems. Some would consider them not to be problems. My advice to everyone is to stop feeding birds. Don't feed any type of animals outdoors, no cats or dogs. Make sure you pick up the waste of the dogs.
Just
like
just
that.
by way, I don't know if you can bring the microphone down a little bit closer, but I don't think it's going through the.
Sorry.
Thank you.
The types of things like that are really what is necessary. As far as personal safety goes, I would recommend that dogs be kept on very short leashes from dusk to dawn, even during the day. Don't let them run free because the coyotes are out there 24/7. They do not hibernate as some people would like you to believe. The other thing that I would suggest is carrying a noisemaker, a rattle with a tin can with some stones in it, and just throw it at them. Take an air horn from that you'd use on a boat, things like that, and just make a lot of noise. Scream at them, holler at them, chase them away, break up what their habits are. They'll continue to come back through the area day after day. They're creatures of habit, so you have to break the cycle. It's difficult to trap. It can be done. However, you'd have to be a licensed trapper in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You'd have to have a hunting license, and there is a season. Season runs from usually the first Monday after Columbus Day weekend until the first full week of March.
Now, I've heard it said that that you mentioned hunters, but is there a hunting season for maybe concerned hunters or concerned citizens? Something that we can do, maybe outside the scope of local government, in order to be able to help control the population.
Again, that's a difficult one. There is a season. It runs the same as trapping, the first Monday after Columbus Day weekend through the first full week of March. The problem with hunting is it has to be done in accordance with the law. You have to be 500 feet from an occupied dwelling. You have to be 150 feet from a street. There are some limitations to that hunting to say you're going to take care of it. The other thing is that you would have to dispatch 70% of the population every single year to see any type of an impact on the overall population.
Wow. It's even though you're being helpful, it's also not being painting a very positive picture for having to deal with our growing population. So if I can recap, what you've shared with is that hunting is a solution, trapping is a solution, both of them not likely to happen or great enough to, or large enough to have a great enough effect. And I also have heard that they will, even if you release them in another location, they're likely to come back anyways. They have a great deal of distance that they can travel to.
Well, first off, just to interrupt, you cannot trap and relocate. That's against the law in Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
As far as the meeting schedule is concerned, there is nothing on the agenda this evening.
However, on Monday at 5 o'clock, the Community Preservation Committee will meet in the Town Hall hearing room. Later, at 7 p.m., the Planning Board will also meet in the hearing room.
Then at 7:30, over at the MEA Conference Room off Finney's Lane, the Sandy Neck Board will meet.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Len Gobeil.
We'll catch you right back here on Monday. I'm Kevin Friel.